Yeah, how you doing? It's the Sicilian Prince here. Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to bring this episode to you today to get started on this project. I've been looking forward to doing this project for several months now. Okay, what I'm going to be doing is 2 wine kits simultaneously. In actuality, I'm probably going to be doing 4, but for this video, I'm going to be doing 2 simultaneously. And what I'm trying to do here is show you 2 different wines that are the same type of wine, supposedly. Okay, what I have here is the Winexpert Eclipse series Barolo wine, and this kit is one of the what I would call top of the line kits. Probably one of the best kits you could get out right now for this type of wine. That's your top of the line kit. On this side I have the Vino Italiano Barolo. Now I'm going to be making both of these side by side. I'm going to be pretty much almost following the Winexpert kit to what the instructions say, with the exception of oak. I tend to not like too much oak in my wines, my personal taste. So what I do is I typically half the oak of what comes with any wine kit when the oak is above 30 grams of oak. So what I'm going to be doing is following the Winexpert kit for the Winexpert, except for I'm going to be halving the oak, whatever comes in it. And the Vino Italiano kit, I'm going to be doing all of my tweaks that I normally do to Vino Italiano kits. Now, it'd be really interesting to see how these wines compare. The low-end kit with the tweaks, and the high-end kit pretty much as it comes. Now, in no way, please have this understanding, did I expect the Vino Italiano kit to be equal to the Eclipse kit. It's just not going to happen. But it'd be interesting to see the differences between what comes in a low-end kit and what comes in a high-end kit. And I'm sure I'm going to get very acceptable drinking wine out of the low-end kit. I'll probably get spectacular wine out of the Winexpert kit. But it'd be interesting to see how much they differ, you know, and where the Winexpert kit costs over $100 more than the Vino Italiano kit. Let's see if that, you know, is if it's that much of a difference in the actual end product. Okay, so let's first look at what comes in the box with the low-end kit. And this is the low-end kit that, just like all the other Vino Italiano kits, we have corks, we have the concentrate in the bag, we have this bag that has the yeast, has some bottle caps, some clarifiers, bentonite, and stabilizer, which is the metabisulfite, and directions. Notice the yeast is the EC1118 yeast, Lavin yeast. And there's also labels, right? And again, I don't use labels to come with the kits. I make my own labels. And then I get the grape concentrate. So this is what comes with the low-end kit. Okay? Now let's compare that. I'm going to put this stuff back in here. What comes in the high-end kit? Okay. We have a packet of a bunch of different things here, a bunch of goodies. we have real crushed grapes. Okay, these are grapes that are crushed Barolo grapes, grape pack. Okay, so these are grapes here. This does not concentrate, that's grapes. And there's my concentrate. Okay, so what are some of the things that you notice here? Well, the concentrate bag for the Vino Italiano kit was smaller than the concentrate bag with the Winexpert kit. So what does that tell you? If they're both supposed to make 6 gallons, and this comes with more concentrate, that means that this concentrate is less concentrated, which means it's more true to the grape. It's better quality because there's more of it in here. Winexpert makes fabulous kits, so you know, I'd expect nothing but the best from those guys. Anyway, there's a bigger concentrate kit and a grape pack. The Vino Italiano did not have the grape pack. The kit here, take out some of the things here, it comes with labels. We got some oak sawdust. We got some oak cubes. There is, if you look at that, it's unbelievable. One wine kit has 2 of these sawdusts, 3 things of cubes, each one of them 30 grams, and we have the same exact yeast that is in the that's in the Vino Italiano kit. You have directions and clarifiers. They have chitosan in here as well, and sulfites and bentonite in here as well. We also have a net bag to put the grape pack into the net bag. So basically in the primary fermentation we're going to be taking our grape pack, putting it into the net bag, and it's going to be fermenting in the primary like that. So I can tell you right away what are some of the modifications I'm going to do to this kit. I'm going to be putting in 1 bag instead of 2, and I'm going to be putting in probably 1 bag of oak cubes instead of 3. Again, I don't like wines that are very oaky. One of the beauty of making your own wines is you're able to tailor it to the way that you like it. So that's the difference basically between these wine kits. But what am I going to do? If you notice, the Vino Italiano didn't come with any oak at all. So I'm going to be adding oak to the Vino Italiano kit because I think it needs some oak, but not to the level that many people put oak in wines. If you love oak, certainly go for it. Put it all in. I don't like it. So I'm going to put in 1 of these oak cubes. This is my personal taste. And I'm going to be putting in 1 of these bags of oak sawdust into the Winexpert kit. Now, guess what I'm going to be doing with the other bag? I'm going to be putting that into the Vino Italiano kit. Alright? And I'm also going to be putting 1 of these oak cubes into the Vino Italiano kit. Now, let's say you didn't have the luxury of having 2 kits to do this. Well, here's one of the things, you know, since I make so many different wine kits, I save a lot of the oak bags that come with them because I don't use it all in a lot of the high-end kits, and I use them in other kits. But you can go to a homebrew shop and buy oak cubes. I certainly do. Or wood chips, oak chips. I usually try to get the medium toasted, either American or French oak. and you could get the chips or you could get the cubes. I talked to different people about these things, and there's different ideas of opinions on the oak. Which are better, the cubes or the chips? Some people say the chips have more surface area so that more of the oak flavor gets imparted onto the wine. Other people say, well, the oak cubes have more flavor. I use both. And to me, I kind of like both of them. Sometimes I use one, sometimes I use the other. And, you know, I think if I want more of an oak flavor, I find that the cubes give me a little bit more of the oak flavor, but I end up using more of them than I do the wood chips. Okay. Another thing to note is that when you see things like sawdust, right, you might say, why the hell am I putting sawdust in wine? Well, again, imagine most wine that you get is in oak barrels, and the oak barrels impart a flavor onto the wine. Well, we don't have an oak barrel, we're using a glass carboy. So how do I get that oak flavor into the wine with a glass carboy? By putting some oak in it, the same way if it was in an oak barrel, oak would be touching the wine. Okay, but here's the thing, is that when you see oak sawdust, this is typically put in the primary fermentation. When you see oak cubes, that's typically put in the secondary fermentation. So if you wanted to copy that sort of thing with your Vino Italiano kits, you would then put the oak dust in the primary and the cubes in the secondary. Do you have to do any of this? No, you don't. You don't need to put any oak at all into your Vino Italiano kit or any kit. If you don't like oak, you can leave it out. I think it needs a little bit of oak, but not. I don't want to be like I'm drinking a tray like so many American wines have. It's just my personal preference again. So, you know, again, the beauty of this whole thing is you get to make it the way you like it. That's why we're making wine. Because it's fun. Because it's fun. It's fun to drink, fun to make. And you get to tailor it to what you like. Okay, so that's what we got. Those are the differences between a low-end kit and a high-end kit. And I'm going to be making these simultaneously at the same time, side by side. I'm going to have two different video series so that if you only wanted to watch one, you could watch one. You know, but I'm going to be making them side by side and probably be having a little talk between one kit and the other. But I would expect that the Winexpert kit is going to need a little bit more aging and will give me a better quality wine than the Vino Italiano, but I expect the Vino Italiano to give me a perfectly acceptable and delicious wine. Now, the directions in both of these kits are excellent, okay? The only thing is that if you make it to 30 bottles on the Vino Italiano kit, you'll get a wine, you know, mediocre wine, watered down wine. But if you make the same kit to 25 gallons, there'll be a dramatic difference in the quality of the wine. So really, this wine kit will give you 30 bottles. I'm sorry, 25 bottles, even though it says 30. This will give you 25 bottles. That one will give you 30. You're not going to make this to 25 bottles. You're going to make the Winexpert kit to 30, just like the directions say. So basically, again, the only deviation I'm making from the directions on the Winexpert is I'm putting in less oak. The deviations I'm making on the Vino Italiano is I'm adding oak, and I am making it to 25 bottles. The other modification I'm doing to both of these that I should mention here is that both of these come with a Kaidasan pack for clearing. Now, Kaidasan is made from shellfish, and if you are allergic to shellfish, you might want to reconsider using that in the kit. So I'm going to be using Sparkavoid in both of these kits. That's the other modification I'm making to both of these kits. I've spoken about doing that, and you've seen me do that before in my other videos, and why I do that and how I do that. But I'm going to be doing that to both of these kits. The Kaizen will work perfectly fine. It will work great. A lot of people swear by it. Some people say that you don't have to worry about an allergy because there's no proteins in it. You know, my feeling on that is it worth taking the chance if someone has a bad allergy that could, I don't know, possibly land them in the emergency room or worse? Is it worth using it? And, you know, for me, it's not worth using it. So, you know, I want the people to drink my wine, including myself, to not have to worry about such things. So I substitute the Kaizen with Sparkaloid for clearing. If you didn't want to use any of that, you would just have to let both of these kits sit a little while longer, to a couple months longer, to clear on their own. And they certainly will clear on their own if you didn't want to use any of those things. But I find the Sparkaloid works wonderfully. So there you have it. There's the differences between a high-end kit and a low-end kit. Stay tuned and watch my other videos on these. See how this this project works out. And I've been trying to get to this project probably for about 4 or 5 months now. I've had these wine kits just basically there. Haven't had a chance to get to them because I've been so busy. And I'm happy to finally get this project off the ground. Alright, catch me in the future videos. Take care. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my video channel here on YouTube. And check out my blog at www.cooking-italian-recipes.com for great Italian recipes, tips on organic gardening, winemaking, and herbalism, and all other kind of fun stuff that I'm into. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends. Take care.